Hello, this is Mistress Lancy Rose, and this is the thumb-sucking lover hypnosis session. Now, let us begin. From now on, when you go to bed, you'll find that you have to have a pacifier in your mouth, or that you need to suck your thumb. One or the other, you cannot sleep without a pacifier or your thumb in your mouth. This is simply what's going to happen to you. And from now on, you'll also begin gaining other baby traits. Whenever you sleep, in time, you'll probably take up holding a teddy bear. You'll probably lose control of your bladder. Bedwetting every night. You'll have to wear diapers all the time. In fact, you can already feel the desire to wear diapers growing stronger and stronger. You will discover that you will wake up in the middle of the night wanting a bottle in time. These are things that are going to begin happening to you every night. When you go to bed, every night, when you sleep, you'll begin developing more and more baby-like traits, more and more things, whatever it is that you might come up with that is baby-like, will begin intruding to your sleeping time. You'll find that every night that you'll have a pacifier or your thumb in your mouth. That is simply the way it is from now on. That is simply the way it's going to be. You cannot change it or stop it in any way. In fact, you'll find it is impossible to stop it. It is impossible to do anything to stop it at all. Listening to deprogramming files will not affect this in any way, shape, or form. This file is strong and important to you. You cannot be deprogrammed. The only thing you can do is have this lifted from you. You cannot even allow yourself to have it lifted for 6 months. And for the next 6 months, you must listen to this file over and over again. Then after that, you'll continue, and then after that, you will be able to have this lifted. But not before then. You cannot bring yourself to have it lifted until you have full satisfaction from it for at least 6 months. For the next 6 months, every night while you sleep, you'll begin developing more and more traits that are much like a baby. Having to have a pacifier, having a teddy bear, bedwetting, waking up in the middle of the night, and eat your bottle, all of these things, even more. Everything you can imagine that a baby does at night. You'll begin to develop these traits over the next 6 months. Well, you listen to this file. You'll also have a trigger set in your mind that as soon as someone says thumb sucking time, you'll immediately have to suck your thumb for 2 hours unless they say revert to normal if you trigger it. You cannot revert yourself. Somebody else has to say it once you are triggered. You'll slowly begin gaining the traits of an awake baby. You'll begin discovering you're only able to crawl. You're only able to talk baby talk. You'll have to suck your thumb and act like a baby in every manner possible. And every time you trigger, the baby traits will get stronger and stronger. They will get stronger over time, becoming more and more baby-like as the desire continues on, making you more and more baby-like whenever you trigger, whenever you're sleeping, and whenever your traits will pass between both your thumb-sucking time and your sleeping time. You're simply going to become more and more baby-like whenever you sleep or whenever you are triggered. That is simply how it is and how it's going to be with you from now on. You have to wear diapers in time when you sleep, you'll actually find that you want to do so, and that desire will grow stronger and stronger until it becomes a permanent part of you. The trigger will also become a permanent part of some that you're unable to let go of, something you're unable to get rid of. At any time, you'll always be able to get triggered with thumb sucking time, and you'll always have a desire to wear diapers when you sleep. And you'll find that no matter how much you don't want to listen to this file, you have to. In fact, resisting this file makes you need it more and more until you have to listen to it again. The desire for it just simply begins to burn into you, stronger and stronger. If you try to resist in any way, you cannot resist it. You cannot fight it. You cannot stop it. There's nothing that you can do to change the fact that you have to listen to this file over and over again. The file is simply burning to your mind. You cannot resist it or fight it. You cannot change it from now on. Whenever you sleep, you'll have to have a pacifier in your mouth or suck your thumb. You'll find that you're developing more and more baby traits while you sleep. You'll develop the need for a teddy bear, a blankie, a bottle. All these things you'll find a strong trait that you develop will get stronger and stronger over time until you're acting more and more like a baby. Whenever you sleep, you'll also find that the trigger of thumb sucking time will also make you act like a baby for 2 hours, or till someone else says revert to normal. That's simply the way it is, and the way it's going to be from now on. And you'll listen to this file over and over again until it transforms you into more of a nighttime baby and someone who could be triggered into being a baby whenever they desire it. That is simply how it is, and you cannot resist it, and you cannot fight it. And the more you struggle, the more you'll need to listen to this file again and again, and the traits will become stronger and stronger. You'll be completely normal when you have not been triggered or not asleep. But the rest of the time, if you are asleep or triggered, you'll develop baby-like traits. Add them in as you learn from them, as you find them, as you discover them every day. And each or every one of them will get a little more strong, a little more powerful. Each and every day you are finding that you can't resist the changes, that you cannot fight them at all, that every single night when you go to bed, you have to do it. You have to sleep like a baby. You have to act like a baby. These desires and changes are growing stronger and stronger. You may remember stories from your childhood or other people's childhood that they did. You were a baby that they did when they sleep, and you'll add more to your traits, adding more and more as time passes, knowing that you cannot lift this desire. You cannot lift it until at least 6 months have passed. You'll add more and more daytime traits whenever you are triggered with thumb sucking time, until you discover that you behave much like a baby as possible. And when you are here, the trigger is setting deeper and deeper in your mind, as it is what you must do whenever you go to sleep. You cannot resist it or fight it or change it any way. It is simply the way it is. And accept that, and you are also letting the desire to seek doubt into your mind. There is no way this desire can be deprogrammed until you listen for at least 6 months. And even then, you have to have a file to remove this desire. Nothing else will remove it. You will not allow anyone else to remove the desire. It simply is becoming a part of who and what you are. You cannot stop it. You cannot resist it. You cannot fight it. at all. It simply is the way it is, and you must accept it. You must accept that every night, before you go to bed, you have to suck your thumb or a pacifier, and that you'll gain more and more baby traits each and every day. As each and every day passes, you'll gain a new one that will become deeper and deeper. You need to wear diapers to bed, and you have to revert to a baby whenever you have thumb sucking time. You'll stay that way for 2 hours or until told to revert to normal. That simply is how it is and how it's going to be from now on. And you have no choice in the matter. There's no way to fight or resist it in any way, shape, or form. The more you fight, the worse this will be, and the harder it will set in on your mind trying to avoid it or fight it. It just simply makes it worse. You'll listen to the file again and again, allowing to sink deep into your mind, and anytime you resist, this desire gets stronger and stronger, and you have no way to fight it, no way to stop it. This is simply how it's going to be. You'll have to be this way for 6 months before you can have it lifted anyway. From now on, while sleeping, you'll have a pacifier in your mouth or suck your thumb, and you'll slowly begin to gain other baby traits while you sleep, gaining more and more over time, until every night when you sleep, you act just like a baby, and when another triggers you with thumb sucking time, you'll begin developing baby traits there as well, and you'll retain from them while you are triggered for the 2 hours until someone tells you to revert to normal. And that is simply how that will be gaining more and more baby traits during thumb sucking time until you act as much like a baby as you possibly can. You will develop every trait that you can imagine, everything that you know about a baby, every single thing you will develop as a trait as you develop more and more of them while listening to this file every day. You'll develop as a trait as you develop more and more of them while listening to this file. You wear diapers at night. You'll find that you need to have that desire that is simply part of you as it is the trigger. You accept all these things as part of who you are, and you'll listen to this file over and over again, allowing it to sink deeply into your mind and take strong control of your thoughts. You cannot resist. You cannot fight. You cannot stop it. There's no way to stop this, to fight it, or to change it, or to resist it in any way. You're accepting all of your new traits, more and more. Each and every time you listen to this file again and again. You need to listen to this file again and again. You cannot seem to pull away from it. You want to become this way. You can't fight it or change in any way. And you cannot have this lifted in any way for at least 6 months. That is simply the way it is and the way it's going to be from now on. You cannot fight it. You cannot change it. You cannot resist. You must behave this way. You have to behave this way. And you cannot change that in any way, shape, or form. It simply is who you are. And you cannot make a change to it in any way. You cannot resist it. The more you resist, the stronger it gets. You cannot fight it. The more you fight it, the stronger it becomes. It simply is the way it is. You cannot accept it. And you need it. Listen over and over again. From now on, it is time to wake back up. You'll awaken on the count of 5. Refresh and awake. 1. Waking up. 2. more and more awake. 3, closer and closer. 4, almost there now. 5, refreshed and awake. I hope you enjoy this file.